All right, boys. So my student Caleb just signed another growth operating client. So he came out here in Arizona, and we are going to build a $100,000 a month coaching funnel for him and his client. So let's get right into it, Caleb.
Yeah.
Let's get into the VSO. You go ahead and show the people what you've built, and then I'll kind of walk everyone through it right there.
So I'm building out a VSO application funnel. First, we just have our header, just telling people what they get inside the program, and then also just making it attractive with the amount of time that can be spent. Then we go straight into our VSO, and I've actually scripted out. He's filming it right now, but we're gonna put our VSO right at the top, so it'll be the first thing that people see and click on. And then it goes straight to interviews with clients. I've sent him out a framework to be able to get testimonials, because he does have to pass testimonials from a free community, and just so to further put proof that his frameworks and his ways work, right? Because in the VSO with a call funnel is really just about proof to get people to apply. And then when you press on the apply button, we have a type form, right? And really just to qualify leads. We can actually kind of go through the type form, and really it's just qualify leads, right? We don't want our calendar getting booked out with people who wouldn't even spend time to go through the type form, right? And then we also have qualifying questions within the type form as well. I'm gonna put my information in. But yeah, so this is our qualifying question, right? Because it's high ticket. So it is a 4-figure investment. And so if anyone, we're gonna set up a logic, if they click under 500, they're just gonna get sent to this low ticket or free community where they can then further be nurtured and then be ascended into the high ticket later on. And then we also have, all these are qualified, right? So if you have $1K or more to invest, you can probably apply for credit, apply for a split play, and so you can actually get on the phone with the closer, right? And so once we go through the calendar, we weed out unqualified leads. When we submit, it's just not right now because it's not published, but it'll actually go to his calendar where we can then book on a call, right? And the reason we qualify, and we don't want our calendar being booked with unqualified leads, people we're not making money from, because the whole point is to make money at the end of the day. A placeholder, but we just have countless other wins, right? We want to, and a big thing that I think people do wrong is their type form takes people off the page. But what I made sure to do in this landing page is to keep the type form embedded on the page so they stay on the page as long as possible. And we're just gonna fill this out with countless wins. Like, people don't have to scroll for 30 seconds just seeing wins, and proof, right? And then we're just gonna have questions and answers, just comment FAQs. We're trying to objection handle as much as possible before the call. And so that's really the front end and the landing page.
The landing page,
landing page and the front end to actually capture leads.
Perfect. So I kind of just want to walk people through exactly this and just kind of ask you questions why you did what you did. So kind of walk me through this headline right there, because this is the first thing people are going to see when they come to this landing page. Like, why did you choose, let's go ahead and read it. You're one step away from landing your first government contracting and changing your life with less than 5 hours a day. Why did you choose this specific headline?
So we want to, throughout the whole landing page, throughout the VSL, throughout all the copy, we want to kind of close the gap to show people that they can do it, right? So we don't say 3 steps, we don't say 10 steps, we don't say 90 days, you're 1 step. So this is your 1 step is joining the program. And then landing your first government contract, because you're doing market research, we realize that most people just want to land their first government contract, right? They don't want to, if you say get to 300K a month with government contracting, right, that might not seem as achievable to the ICP, correct? And so we do your first because we conducted the market research, and that's what the people want to get, right? And then with less than 5 hours a day, because in all our copy, we want to close the gap to how close they are to their goals. Well, we want to open the gap to how close they are to their goals, but we want to close the gap and can they achieve it, right? So everybody, if you don't have if you don't have at least 5 hours a day, you probably don't need to be getting to a business model. So we usually know that people have around 5 hours a day to close that gap.
Okay, so this is really good. So what I teach my students specifically on creating like a good offer, creating a good headline is Alex Hormozi. Everyone, if you're an entrepreneur, you've heard of Alex Hormozi. If you have not heard, he's the go. If you've not heard of the what do you call it, the value equation on how to create a really, really good offer. One thing that I really want to talk about here is with less than 5 hours a day. So Alex Hormozi's value equation is dream outcome, time to likelihood of achieving it over time delay and the effort and sacrifice that's going to be needed. So with less than 5 hours a day handles that slight objection that people are going to have. So if you don't have at least 5 hours a day, to get a government contract, and we're making it look very, very easy and very, very capable. Everyone has 5 hours a day. It's like a no-brainer, to the offer. So I think I talked to you about the VSL, a couple minutes ago. Now, when you created this VSL, what are the three things that I kind of told you? If you do remember, in creating the VSL, you could go ahead and show them.
Yeah, actually show the parts of the VSL. So my main thing I can walk out through is just having a hook, right? We want to be able to hook our audience, and really just kind of create an open loop in their brain. So at the end, you'll never look at business the same way again. So you're like, oh shit, how I need to finish watching this video because we created that open loop within the hook. And then it's to build story and credibility, because you have to sell yourself on the offer, the creator, and then themselves, right?
Yeah.
And so first it's just selling them on the creator, right? Through story, through just telling his story, right? Showing he's relatable, showing he was in the same position as you, and so he can take you to another level, right? And then problem identification, we want to let people know that they have a problem in the first place, right? Because if people don't know they have a problem, why in the world would they buy your product? And then step 4 was solution introduction, and this is a shift. So we actually introduce government contracting now and show them that this is their gold mine, this is their new opportunity. And then step 5 is making sure it's a unique mechanism and really a new opportunity, right? Because if it's just the same, a lot of the reason people's offers don't scale is because they don't position themselves in the market as one-on-one, right? They look like every trading offer, every real estate offer, and so we want to position them as unique in the market, right? And the offer itself, government contracting, there's not a lot of people teaching that, but we just make that even clearer. We're showing how this is a new mechanism, a new opportunity. And then finally, step 6 is explain the offer. We want to clearly lay out for people what they get within the offer. So we're actually now starting to introduce and sell the offer, right? And we want to show people what and not how. So what are they getting? What are they learning? Not exactly how, and show that we can teach them exactly how. So we show them what they're getting, one-on-one access, group calls, etc., and fully walk them through. And then lastly is we want to praise our method and throw rocks at others. And so we want to show them why econ, why trading, why real estate is not the answer, and why government contract.
Perfect. So all in all, the way that I go about specifically VSLs, and I talked to Caleb about this, is 3 things. The first thing is selling people on the business model, the idea, the mechanism at first. The second thing is selling people on themselves being able to do it.
Yeah.
People have limiting beliefs, whether you believe them or you don't believe them. People have limiting beliefs as to why they don't create or why they don't do something. If you can't help them overcome those limiting beliefs, number 1, you're not a good salesman, and number 2, they probably shouldn't buy your program. So that's the second thing you do. You help them overcome them and make them believe that they themselves can do it. Yeah. And then last but not least, you sell them on the creator themselves. Before someone buys something, there's multiple ways on you selling them on the creator. You can do it via YouTube, or you can do it on the VSL by making them relatable and things like that, which is exactly, the 3 things that this VSL right here covers. So let's get right in. Let's go back to the landing page real quick.
Framer.
Perfect. And then it leads them straight to the apply button, which, as you guys have seen, is on the landing page, which is really, really, really good.
You click it, it slide.
You click it, and it takes you to the.
Like
I like Framer. How do you like Framer?
Framer, at first I started out on ClickFunnels, and then I actually saw Edmund using Framer, and I got to figure out how to use that. And so I dived into it. It's just a lot cleaner.
Framer's sick. This looks super clean, and then when they're gonna add the videos is gonna be super, super, super nice. Yeah. Really, really good. Really, really good funnel. Placeholder image right there, and then an FAQ section, and then let's go through this application real quick. Okay, so the first question is asking them, do you have 10 hours? These are just qualifying. This is just like quantifying questions, just getting them to understand. As you guys can see right here, one of the things that we have, and one of the things that you see right here is every single question is something that they can click you will get a higher completion on your type forms if they can just read and click rather than having to type out an answer or anything like that, you know? And then another thing that you see is that the first question isn't asking for their information. It's not asking for their email, name, number, none of that shit. That increases and that adds more friction if you're asking before giving. You know what I mean? So go ahead.
Another thing that I just kind of made sure, just to get a little bit of information about the situation, I just asked some questions before, like what is their goals, what do they struggle with, and so when it does get zapped into the Discord, our sales team can already have some type of background information or some type of pain points to draw upon, or kind of get an understanding of what objections they might have. Like, are they skeptic about the business model? Do they feel they don't have enough time? Do they feel they have a lack of direction? That we can actually draw on that within the sales call.
Let's go to the qualifying questions now.
Yeah.
Boom, got it. And what is your budget to invest into you learning your goals right now? If you're able to achieve your goals as soon as humanly possible, under 500, and then you said you have these conditions and logics, you know, so that they're unqualified to send them somewhere else, correct?
Yeah.
Perfect. And then, you know, once they click this is a book to call, right?
Yeah.
Book to call. Perfect. And then once they click submit, they'll be sent to
their calendar.
A calendar or go high level. What are you using?
I use calendar right now.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. Now let's go through the zaps and kind of show people how the zaps work and how we set that up. Okay, so perfect. As you guys can see right here, we have the book to call zap. You know, so this is from when someone books a call. You walk them through this specifically. You don't have to go through the exact zap, but you can just tell them exactly what Zapier is, how you learned Zapier, and then the zaps that you created.
So Zapier is, if you can master this, you can pretty much automate all of your tasks, right? And so I use Zapier for really three things. I first use it to alert my sales team when there's a new lead, right? And then I use it to send leads to Go High Level. And so this is where they are automatically will be tagged and can get sent their email sequences, text sequences. And then I also use it to send zaps to my tracking system. I personally use Airtable for tracking. People use Looker Studios, Google Sheets. But you just want to automatically zap this information, and so you can see in real time your KPIs, your close rates, your show rates, your book to call application, your cancel calls. You can see everything automatically in real time with Zapier instead of having to put it in automatically. So first I have book to calls, and so this sends my leads to Go High Level, right? Breaks, I just have to look at it all day.
Yeah.
And then application type form, we just send this to update our leads and Go High Level in Discord. And so when someone goes through the type form, they're automatically sent to the Discord. And then cancel calls. And so we can get real time, like how many of our calls are getting canceled. So this tells us like, our leads qualify enough? Is our show rate messed up? And so we can actually see the percent of people that are canceling calls. And this is pretty fat as well. And also this updates and Go High Level in on our tracker, which is Airtable.
Perfect. Good job, bro. How are you liking Airtable? I use Google Looker.
Bro, it's sick. I ain't gonna lie. Like it updates everything. And this one is a confirming call form. It's just once our closer does finish a call, he pretty much fills out a form and Go High Level, and it'll automatically send to our tracker, so we can actually pay out closers and setters correctly. And then this is just for manual payments, because not everybody can pay through Fanbase's WAP, etc. Some people just would rather do Zelle. And so for those people that do Zelle, crypto, Cash App, whatever, we can track that as well in the Google Sheets. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, cool. So that's Zapier right there. Zapier is a tool, like he said, if you can understand this, you will be able to automate every single task. If you're someone that's manually tracking leads, whether you are a setter, a sales rep, and you did not know this, and you're interested, and obviously working with me one-on-one, click that first link below, the type form, and at the end, if you qualify, you'll be able to book a call. But let's kind of continue here and go ahead and show them the
my CRM on Go High Level. And so this is actually where I track leads, and my sales team tracks leads. And so we're doing a book through funnel, right? Book the application, they book a call, right? And so when someone books a call, they're automatically zapped. We do this automated through Zapier. They're zapped into Go High Level. And so when a setter actually calls them to make sure they're qualified, if they don't show up, they just pretty much move down the pipeline. And so we want to keep calling these leads all the way to day 4. to make sure that they show up to a call, or maybe they cancel a call or miss a call. We continue to follow up. And so right now, of course, these are test runs right now, but as we launch like this, the CRM will get super fat trust.
If you're not using what do you call it? If you're not using Go High Level or some sort of CRM as a coach or consultant, or as a growth operator with a marketing agency, I promise you're losing out on a lot of money. The number one tool that is relatively cheap, $97, that can save you thousands and thousands of dollars, that will start making you money as soon as you implement it, is Go High Level. And if you're not using it, you're losing out on a ton of money. But this is his what do you call this? His opportunity, his stages right here. So now he's gonna kind of show you guys like some of the automations that he has set up in place. This is intense. Now you don't obviously have to show them everything, but like kind of give them a walkthrough of like what this automation is, and then like what it does.
So it just makes sure that all leads are getting tagged automatically. And so if someone doesn't answer, if someone's not answering, it just automatically tags them, right? So we can see at all times, this actually updates in the Airtable in our tracking as well automatically. So we can actually see real time where people are in the sales process, right? And so this is what we do with Go High Level, and this is all connected through Zapier and whatever. We use Airtable, but you can do this through Looker Studios, Google Sheets.
Okay, so yeah, now we're gonna go over on Lovable, and Caleb, kind of walk them through why do you use Lovable as your post booking page and kind of what it looks like.
So this is my post booking page, and so the sales process doesn't end after someone books a call, right? There's email sequences and SMS sequences. I'm currently setting that up, but the biggest thing is to have a post booking page to nurture people and to further have proof, because they need to pretty much, when people show up to the call, they should already show up to the call sold. Like if you really do it right, your leads are coming to the call to just your closer. All he's doing is collecting payment, and one of the easiest ways to nurture people is through having a dialed in post booking page. So this is what I'm making out right now. I'm making it on Lovable. It's just easier. Use AI as much as I can. And so what we're going to do is have just a main video, and this pretty much just thanking the lead for booking, telling them what they need to do, telling them what they need to look out for, that they need to look out for a text from someone on your team, which is a setter. I mask it as a success manager that will qualify them, and then also look out for assets that we're going to send out. So these are going to be comprised of testimonials, FAQs to objection handle, and then also personal assets about his personal story, right? To further build trust with him personally. And so we just have on here what you want to look out for, what happens next. And so your leads are fully understand what's happening. Because before I implemented this, I literally had a lead when I was first starting out that got on the phone with a closer, and she literally said, what did I apply for? And so once I knew I had to implement some type of post booking nurture sequence. And so I also have a getting started guide, right? And so this will show what's actually in. It will be probably a 5 to 10 minute video that I haven't filmed that will show exactly what you're getting inside the program. And then success framework will show what we're looking for, the type of people we're looking for. And then common questions. There's common questions people will have before joining the program. So common questions about government contracting, how to land a contract, is this for me, right? And really there's just mass as FAQs, but really it's just to further objection handle. And then client case studies we'll have throughout the entire website, just to further nurture. And so then we just continue with client results, just further, really just to push as much proof as possible. And so when people show up to the call, they have max amount of trust in the creator, max amount of trust in the offer, max amount of trust in themselves as they actually can do it, right? And that's why we include video testimonials, and we make sure in our video testimonials that we actually show people where they start out and then where they got to. We be very specific about where they started out. So if Johnny had 2 jobs, working as a server, we make sure to include that to show the full transformation, because the people watching this might have 2 jobs, being a server, just being as relatable as possible. And then lastly, just having FAQs at the end. And like we said, all is masked as FAQs, but it's really just putting in questions just to objection handle and make sure people come up to the call prepared.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, guys, that's gonna kind of do it in regards to helping Caleb build a funnel that I genuinely believe if he continues to scale with the creators can and will reach $100,000. They have everything set up. They have the landing page, Typeform, Zaps. They're tracking data. They have the emails. Go high level. Everything set up that's going to be able to. Actually, I think we didn't talk about email in here, but he is setting those up right now as we speak. But I think he has everything that's needed to hit that $100,000 a month with his coaching offer. So I just kind of want to ask you a couple of questions, obviously, in
Yeah.
regards to the one-on-one mentorship and kind of what everything entails. I think we have another testimonial on my landing page on my YouTube channel already, but
Yeah.
I kind of want to ask you because we are post 3 months now, and typically the mentorship is a 3 month program. So like how do you feel about the 3 month program that we did work together? How do you feel? Was it positive? Do you recommend it? Do you don't?
No, I definitely say positive for sure. Nothing but positive. Like I've learned a lot through this process. Learned about funnels. Learned a lot on webinar, VSL, application funnels. About to go over challenge funnels. I could just watch you through A through Z. So anybody could come in and get value. Someone could start out not knowing anything about growth apps, not knowing anything about scaling high ticket offers, or being in the middle of your journey and still be able to learn. And then really when I really started implementing the voice messages, that's when I landed this
Is that how
client.
you landed this client?
Yeah, that's how I
Perfect.
landed this client. And so I mean the systems and the methodology works. It's just dependent upon are you willing to stick out with it long enough and actually put the numbers in, right? Because he has the right systems in place for you to land clients. And Evan's a good guy. I've actually been able to hang out with him after the past couple of days. Like it's a good dude. I have an amount of trust to drive my car from to North Carolina to Arizona because I trust that he's a good guy. Be able to take care of me out here. And then once again, just the one-on-one access. I think I spoke on it in the last video, but the one-on-one access is the biggest thing because no matter how many modules you have, no matter how much information you give out, your questions are gonna arise, and you want someone that's willing to take time out of your day to answer your questions. And you're always super responsive. And being here has been crazy. Seeing him launch his creator, like it's been nuts. So
Yeah, no, we're launching. I don't know if I'll say the creator. I won't say the creator yet because when I launch the case study for that creator, it's going to be after this video. But you guys will obviously see and know who the creator is if you don't know. But the only other question that I have for you, Caleb, is if someone was on the fence of joining my program, or they didn't know, whether they should do it, whether it's worth it, whether it's time to take action, what would you tell them right now?
bro, I would say like you're gonna pay eventually, right? And you're gonna either pay with time or with money. And so if you choose to pay with time, you're gonna be in the same situation you were in 2 years from now. You're gonna be, 20, 25 saying, dang, I would have spent that investment 2 years ago. Or you can pay with money, and that's how you actually fast track your success. And I promise you, if you give your money to this guy, if you invest your time and trust, like he's gonna make sure you get results because he actually cares about your situation. He actually wants you to improve. He actually wants you to get results, not just is it's not a scam. It's definitely not a scam. He's actually getting students results, getting people results, taking time out of his day. So for sure, just make that investment. If not now, then never, for sure.
I appreciate those kind words, Caleb. Yeah, he drove here from North Carolina. I think he's heading over to SoCal tonight, bro. I
Yeah,
appreciate you for being here. Appreciate
for
this
sure.
testimonial. I think he's definitely on the come up in this funnel that we did set up here for you guys in 30 minutes. 30 minutes or so is going to make him a lot of money. So that's going to do it for the video. Caleb, thank you so much for everything. If you are a coaching consultant, growth operator, or info product, someone that wants to either work with me or learn from me, there's a type form below where if you go through and qualify at the end, you'll be able to book a call to speak with me personally, and I'll be able to help you either one, get into this business or scale it, or number two, help you with your coaching program if you're a coach or consultant. Other than that, if you guys have any question, put them in the comments below or DM me on Instagram. But thank you for watching.